Hey, what's up, Justin here, and what I wanted to talk about today is when the ends justify the means. So sometimes in your life you might have to do something that on the surface level can seem a little bit unethical, however the deeper meaning behind it is actually quite positive and you've actually done the right thing. So sometimes you might have to betray someone, you might have to manipulate a situation, or you might even have to accept favor from someone that you wouldn't normally accept favor from in order to achieve a certain outcome, or even stand up for yourself in a way that you've stood up to your own morals and your own moral compass. So there's two ways I think, if you think about it like this can actually be quite positive and a brave thing rather than something that's negative. So the first one I would say is it has to probably be the last resort. So it's like someone who has to go to war to achieve peace. Someone who's a man of peace goes to war to achieve peace would do that, and sometimes you have to get into the thick of things and in the mud in order to get what you want. So human nature is tit for tat in terms of what's going to be the best positive outcome. If you put that into game theory, starting off friendly and trusting is always going to achieve better outcomes in the long term than starting off suspicious and maybe a little bit manipulative from the get-go. So if you think about building a relationship with someone, maybe there are just, some people out there who want to take control of you or take advantage of you or bully you or do something that they think is right but you don't think is right, and that's just human nature as well, to see what they can do in that situation. So I think in life we're either flexing our control muscles or our release muscles. If you're taking control of a situation, that can be positive because you've got a creative vision for it. However, if you're letting go, that can be positive as well, because sometimes you just need to get into harmony with things that are going on around you. So if you use any kind of unethical approach as your last resort and you've started tit for tat, it can actually be you being quite brave because you're standing up for yourself and you're risking damaging a relationship or damaging parts of your reputation in order to do something that you know is right. So the second way I would think that doing something like this is positive is if you're taking control of the situation. So you need to be able to trust your own moral compass and your own ethics. You can't really trust other people's ethics and moral compass. You don't know what's going on in their heart and their soul, but you know what's going on in your own heart. So if you're taking control of a situation, you've almost got to create a vision that you know what's going to happen is if you act a certain way. So maybe using politics with a lower P to outmaneuver someone and get what you want is actually quite positive, because you know deep in your heart that it's going to have a better outcome for everyone involved. So it's a control muscle that you're using, whereas if you're at the whims of someone else and you're doing something a bit dodgy because of someone else's vision, then that's when I think you're going to get a little bit of bad karma or maybe hurt yourself because you're not trusting yourself and your own morals. So it's like someone, if you think of maybe like Lyndon Johnson, who was the president of the United States, he had to accept support from Southern racists in order to climb the political establishment before he betrayed them in a way by, in 1964, passing the Civil Rights Act and promoting better outcomes for racial integration overall after he accepted all that support. So the ends kind of justified the means, and a little bit of a respect for him because he had a creative vision moving forward and he was in control of the situation. Whereas someone maybe like, Drake, who maybe sold out to all the gambling companies and didn't really have an end goal for it, he just wanted more money. From my perspective looking in, where he was the voice of our generation for a minute and his career's been going down ever since he sold out to the gambling companies. Maybe he was at the whims of other people a little bit more. He wasn't flexing his control muscles in that aspect at that time, and he's gotten a little bit of bad karma from that. So if you're in control of the situation and you're taking control and you do something that's a little bit dodgy in terms of a surface level thought, but you're trusting your own moral compass because you know deep down that later on it's going to achieve better outcomes for more people, then that's when I think the ends can justify the means in that respect. The final part of this idea that I think could be seen as positive, even though at the time it might not feel great and might not be seen as positive, is it can be seen a little bit as this idea of healthy competition. So if you're outmaneuvering someone or doing something to take advantage of someone in a certain respect because you know it's a better outcome, then maybe you're in a way raising the bar or raising the consciousness of society, and people rallying against you to sort out a situation and maybe change the systems that go into that situation can actually be seen as positive in a way because you've actually made them a little bit better. So even though you've been forced out of your last resort to do something dodgy, you've maybe done something from your own creative vision and control that's going to achieve the best outcome for others. I think if you trust your morals and you go about that, and you've even raised the bar for other people, and then you take a step back and you trust karma and you trust whatever it is that led you into that situation in the first place, then there actually can be more positives and bravery than negatives if you've actually put that thought and that depth of thinking into it. So I hope you guys gain some sort of value from this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.